program is proudly brought to you by Datec PNG Limited.
In this session of Infocus, we feature discussions with the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Papua New Guinea, Professor Ian Findlay. We look at some of the challenges confronting the University of Papua New Guinea, as well as some of the reforms the university is looking to undertake in the coming years. Professor Ian Findlay, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Professor Findlay, since taking over as the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Papua New Guinea, how have you found the role so far?
The role has been challenging, but I expected the role to be challenging. Living in PNG is challenging, working at UPNG is challenging, but I expected challenge. Challenging environments, challenging works makes life interesting. And there's nothing worse than having a boring life. So there's certainly lots of challenges. One of the real advantages that I have is that I used to work in a previous university in Cambodia, and many of the challenges that I had in Cambodia are exactly the same challenges that I have in UPNG, and I know how to solve those challenges. So I'm hoping to bring those challenges back to UPNG, and hopefully UPNG can reclaim its rightful place as the premier university in Papua New Guinea.
Now, Professor Findlay, every year the PNG education system passes out over 20,000 school leavers. Last year, about 1,565 were admitted at UPNG. Would you say the time has come for UPNG to increase its intake capacity?
Yes, it is. That's one of the major things that we're focusing on. We have to increase both on our physical campus and also online. Online education is the future for UPNG. It's the future for many universities across the world. We have to be doing that. We have to be looking at what programs are popular, what programs are less popular. How do we make it more attractive for students to come to UPNG? We have to reinforce our students. We have to get them ready for the workforce. We have to increase the number of our students. So absolutely, it's a major priority.
I would imagine there would be pressures on UPNG's accommodation facilities.
Yes, so we have a number of students we have on campus. That is always going to be a limiting factor. We are also building a master plan to try and look at building additional accommodation, but that is always going to be a limiting factor. The real opportunity for UPNG is an online education, where we can, if people can't come to UPNG to get education, we can take education to the rest of Papua New Guinea. We have 17 university learning centres scattered across PNG. So if we can't take our students to UPNG, we will take UPNG to our students and introduce online learning, online programs, diplomas that we can offer to all of these students living in all of the provinces. So that will be the major way that UPNG can expand.
Given the connectivity challenges around Papua New Guinea, how do you intend to overcome this challenge?
So the best way to connect our university learning centres is through cable and Cat6 cabling. That's by far the best way. Other methods are using microwave transmitters and receivers. Another way is low orbit satellites such as Starlink. We have currently we've got Starlink. We're currently evaluating Starlink for implementation within a physical campus and within all of our university learning centres. But that could be a game changer for UPNG and a game changer for Papua New Guinea education. It's very, very difficult to get education out to our provinces, and Starlink could be that game changer.
Professor Findlay, the University of Papua New Guinea was established in 1965 and has had the basic program since then. When was the last time UPNG undertook an academic audit, and what were the findings from it?
We're looking at a range of programs. We're going to do an audit of all of our university programs to make sure that our university programs are what Papua New Guinea needs. There is no point Papua New Guinea developing astronauts. We don't have a space agency. There's no point developing there's no point developing graduates for jobs that don't exist. So what we have to do is look at what does Papua New Guinea need, and then make sure that we are delivering not just the jobs, but the skills, the education for Papua New Guinea's future. We need to be delivering not for now, but for the next 5, 10, 20 years. So we're going to do a review of all of our programs. We're going to say, this program is no longer valid. We're going to say, this program is needed for our future, and then implement those programs. We're already going to be implementing a range of IT programs, programming, networking, AI, cybersecurity, fintech for 2027. We're going to be introducing a range of IT award programs, certificate programs, diploma programs, starting in second semester, starting in July this year, because we have identified that a major deficiency, a major hole that PNG has, is we don't have enough IT graduates. So we have to improve that. We have to look at PNG's needs and make sure that we are delivering the programs that PNG needs for PNG to become a successful nation.
I would imagine there would be questions around international accreditations.
So one of the paths we're taking for international accreditation is to link up with other universities within the region, within the Pacific region and wider. We have signed an MOU with Queensland University of Technology just in December. And for the first time in Papua New Guinea, students can do half a degree in Papua New Guinea and half a degree in Australia, and then get an Australian degree and a UPNG degree. That is a game changer for Papua New Guinea. We're also about to sign MOUs with a number of American universities so that the same pattern can happen. The PNG students can then go and do part of their degrees in the US. So that is a real game changer for UPNG, a real game changer for Papua New Guinea, to introduce our students to a global perspective, internationalization. We also want our students to have international experiences, whether that is an international degree or just study groups, 3-week study tours in different countries. Of course, we have to get international accreditation. Our School of Business and Public Policy already has a range of international accreditations for things like accountancy, for CPA, but we have to expand those international accreditations. Unitec has done very, very well in getting Engineers Australia accreditation for its engineering programs. We have to do the same for all of the programs that we have UPNG. Whether it's law programs, we have to be either aligned to international programs, accredited with international programs, or recognized by international programs, so that students graduating in PNG can go and live abroad. Students that are abroad can come and work and live in PNG and become a global citizen, not just an insular Papua New Guinean citizen. We need to give our Papua New Guinean students global opportunities.
In terms of postgraduate studies, are there plans to open up the scope of programs currently under your postgraduate programs?
Yes, there is. Most of our postgraduate studies, postgraduate programs are with the School of Business and Public Policy. We have a wide range of postgraduate studies. We're now looking at, across all of our schools, our School of Humanities, School of Medicine and Health Sciences, our School of Law, School of Science, to try and see what type of postgraduate opportunities we have. In many ways, a bachelor's degree is a general degree. What we need to do is introduce postgraduate studies so that students can become specialised. And once they're specialised, they can then get specialised jobs. So yes, we have to open up to postgraduate diplomas, master's degrees and PhDs across the university, across all of our schools.
I understand there are plans to establish a standalone medical university from the University of Papua New Guinea's School of Medical and Health Sciences. What would be its implications?
So, in fact, it's quite different. So, our School of Medicine and Health Sciences is actually going to transition to be a brand new medical university. So, PNG Parliament has passed that. The UPNG, the PNG Medical University has already been passed. That was passed on the 23rd of January. So we are now going through the process of transferring a School of Medicine and Health Sciences to become a standalone University of Medicine and Health Sciences. That has advantages and disadvantages, but we are transitioning to that process.
Now, Professor Findlay, over the years we've had numerous allegations of governance and corrupt practices within the university. What is the University of Papua New Guinea's administration doing to tighten up governance within the institution?
So I have a very strict zero tolerance for corruption. I have a strict zero tolerance for nepotism. I am a stranger in PNG. I have no baggage, I have no friends, I have no relatives. I can make objective decisions. For me, it doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter what province you come from. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter, nothing matters other than merit. The only important thing is the best people for the job, the best systems for the job. So what we have to do is make sure that we get the best systems, the best people in those positions. And that will be a merit process. We have a zero tolerance. We are also simplifying, standardizing, and automating many of our processes we have. If our systems are simplified and automated, it takes away the opportunity for interference, whether that is human interference or corrupt interference. It takes that away. So we are simplifying, standardizing, and automating all of our processes.
On to another topic. We are cognizant of the fact that artificial intelligence is currently a core element or core factor of international universities. Does this propose a challenge or an opportunity for the University of Papua New Guinea?
It's both. Artificial intelligence is a topic that universities are tackling across the entire world. Artificial intelligence is so new. If you look back even just 5 years ago, no one was talking about artificial intelligence, and now it's on everyone's lips. And that is just 5 years. But what we have to do is make sure that artificial intelligence is managed, that we become the masters and not the slaves. So what we're doing at UPNG is that we're embedding artificial intelligence and technology into every single course, into every single program, so that all of our students understand the opportunities and the challenges of AI. AI is going to change our world, and we need to be ready for it. If we don't, we will be left behind. All our neighbouring countries are grasping with this problem, and they will overtake us. So we have to make sure that all of our population truly understands what AI is, what technology is, where it's taking us, and we are ready. We also have to make sure that we create our own future, a future made by Papua New Guineans for Papua New Guinea. Otherwise, we will be led by someone else's agenda. We have to become self-reliant on AI, self-reliant on technology, and lead into the future. We will be the future leaders.
Another aspect of universities around the world are its research programs or research projects. Are there plans by the University of Papua New Guinea to broaden its research programs?
So UPNG is somewhat limited in the research that we have, and that's a problem for all Melanesian countries. They're simply too small to have a critical mass for research. Most small countries have the same problems. We just don't have the critical mass to develop large-scale research projects. But what we need to do to improve both research and innovation is to have a culture of research and innovation amongst all of our students. So one of the changes that we're making for 2027 is that we're putting research into every single course, into every single program. So we have AI, we have technology, we have research and critical thinking, and we have soft skills in every single course, every single program, because we have to teach people how to have critical analysis, essential skills for any university, for any economy, for any country. PNG simply is too small to have a huge critical mass that we need for world-breaking research. That doesn't mean to say that we can't have world-breaking research in individual pockets, and that's exactly what we should be doing. What we need to be doing is introducing a culture of research and innovation amongst all of our students. So we are going to embed research skills in every course, every program. So we're going to embed artificial intelligence, technology, research critical thinking skills, and soft skills to give our students, our UPNG students, our 21st century UPNG advantage. If students can learn how to critically analyse the knowledge of the world, we have the knowledge of our world in our pockets via Google. We have to transform that knowledge into wisdom. And that's what we have to teach our students. We have to move away from teaching content, because students can get content from their phones. And what we have to now do is teach wisdom. How do you evaluate that knowledge? How do you evaluate disinformation, misinformation, wrong information we're being bombarded with? How do we evaluate all that in a logical, correct way? And that requires research skills, critical thinking skills. And if we can do that, we will produce better students. But better students will lead to better graduates. Better graduates will get the best jobs have the highest salaries. So we have to make sure right at the beginning that our students have the best possible education, the best possible critical thinking skills, the best possible research skills, because our students will be the future leaders of Papua New Guinea. If we give them a poor education, they will be poor leaders. If we give them a good education, they will be good leaders. And that is the job of a university.
Now, Professor Findlay, a key stakeholder in any university are its academic staff and lecturers. What is UPNG doing on its part to perhaps improve the capacity of its academic staff, but also improve its terms and conditions as well?
Yeah, so I'm a very strong believer that if you look after your staff, you look after your customers. And students are our customers. And our staff are our academic staff. So if we look after our academic staff, they will look after our students. So what we have to do is make sure that our academics feel valued. They feel valued in the work that they do, the education that they're giving to our students. So we are just starting a performance appraisal process across all of our staff at the university. So in 2026, 2027, all of our staff will have a performance review. And that will identify the training needs of our academics. So some academics may need training in pedagogy on how to teach. Some academic staff may need training on how to use online education. Some of our staff are going to need training on how to use flipped learning. Some of our staff are needing training on their specialised area of expertise. So we have to identify those training needs. I've already identified 94 training programs for all of our staff across UPNG, from our academic staff to our non-academic staff. And training is going to be a major focus at the university. We need to make sure that we have the best staff, the best equipment, the best opportunities for our students, because our students are our ambassadors. And not just UPNG's ambassadors, but Papua New Guinea's ambassadors to the entire world.
In terms of the remuneration of your academic staff?
So we are currently reviewing the remuneration. We know that there is a major challenge in that area. We have academic staff that are easily poached to private industry because we just don't offer enough. And the benefits that we offer are just not enough. But we can offer multiple things. We can offer housing. We can offer leave. We can offer research opportunities. So remuneration and the value of working at university is just isn't salary. There's a whole range of other benefits, and we have to improve our salary, and we have to improve all of our other benefits as well. So it's a very well-rounded package. We also have to try and attract international experts to come back to UPNG because we don't know everything, and PNG doesn't know everything, and we have major skill gaps that we have to address. So if we can't address them in PNG, we have to look abroad. And if we don't have experts in PNG, we have to bring those experts to PNG and then teach our local Papua New Guinean students, our graduates, to eventually take those positions. So that's what we have to do. Get our experts in place, get our high-performing academics in place, and then they will teach the next generation to come through, succession planning to come through, so that Papua New Guinea is in a much stronger position 5, 10, 20 years in the future.
Finally, Professor Findlay, where do you see UPNG in 10 years' time?
In 10 years' time, UPNG will be the Harvard of the Pacific. The Harvard of the Pacific. We have to reclaim our position within PNG. We have to reclaim our position in the entire Pacific region. Papua New Guinea is the largest country in the region, so why shouldn't it be the best? So we have to put those foundations in place, those strong foundations in place, so that we can build our mansion. We can build our empire. We can build a strong future for Papua New Guinea, not just for Papua New Guinea, but also to have the benefits in Papua New Guinea that we can help our neighbours. You know, Fiji, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, other countries to get the benefits of a Papua New Guinean education. We are the biggest country. We should be taking the lead.
Professor Ian Findlay, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, viewers, that ends this episode of Infocus. Do join us again next week, Monday, on our regular time slot of 7 p.m. Till then, bye for now.
This program was proudly brought to you by Daytech PNG Limited.